Okay, hi guys and welcome to the show. Very serious video today. If you are considering buying or wearing a smartwatch, an Apple Watch, whatever it is, every day, you need to watch this video. You need to rethink your relationship. There's some serious risks, and I think by the end of this video, you're going to question wearing it at all. I'm not just talking about the use of potentially toxic plastics or electromagnetic radiation, or the fact that they're, designed inherently to be obsolete after a period of time for the sake of profitability. I'm not talking about that. It's something even more insidious and even more potentially harmful to your security. Before I get hauled away with a black bag over my head in zip ties in the back of an unmarked van, we better share this video. Oh God, I hope that doesn't happen. Okay, hi guys, and welcome to the show. Now, to be abundantly clear, if you utilize a smartwatch as part of your collection of mainly traditional watches, that is absolutely fine. Nobody can deny the health monitoring benefits, and in some extreme cases, a connectivity that even can save lives. But ironically, it's these very same technologies that can also be used against you in a multitude of ways that we shall explore today, no matter if you wear these watches every day or not. And I know what you're thinking. Yeah, TGV, we've heard it all before, people with nefarious intent using them to track you, right? Well, like I certainly have mentioned in earlier videos, yes, that too, but it gets so much worse.
A big explosion has just occurred. Everyone is running from the entire financial district now. The smoke is filling the entire area. Let's go. Come on, go, Brad, go.
I've directed the full resources of our intelligence and law enforcement communities to find those responsible and to bring them to justice.
Post-Patriot Act of 2001 authorized tools like sneak and peek warrants and broader wiretapping expanded exponentially with the development of the methods to allow it. And in parallel with this, the relationship between big tech and governments. Under the subterfuge of convenience, we have simultaneously unwittingly accepted that we can be tracked via cell phones at all times, and society increasingly has leapt into it with a painfully blind obsequiousness that makes it ever more difficult to operate without it.
Log off. That cookie makes me nervous.
But let's take the red pill and go deeper into the rabbit hole, shall we? If you Google search the simple question, what information does a polygraph machine require to work, you will see that it's all metrics most people, by their own volition, feed into their smartwatch. Disturbingly and ironically, for fitness and health tracking. Now, before I explain why this seemingly innocuous information becomes deeply problematic, let's get a few things into perspective about what is erroneously called lie detection. While polygraphs are not universally accepted as conclusive, it is widely considered more acute than chance. And coupled with skilled interrogation, it can be effective. So much so, many United States law enforcement and federal government agencies, as well as many police departments, use polygraph examinations to interrogate suspects and screen new employees. And you start to see where I'm going with this, but this is nothing.
Hold on to your butts.
Every single top intelligence organization throughout the world has had the ability for decades now to remotely access any smart device, such as a TV or computer, and reverse the function of speakers into a microphone if needed, or if present, simply hijack the mic. Essentially, this all turns your timepiece into the perfect surveillance device. But unlike a polygraph, smartwatches are not constrained to one location or time, and more importantly, a controlled stimulus, aka the person asking the questions during a polygraph exam. They allow insight into your deepest, darkest secrets by monitoring your exposure to different situations, patterns of behavior, conversations with people that value differently in your life, even stimulus such as movies, or better yet, real-life high-stress situations that even the most amateur psychologist can start to build a highly detailed psychological profile based on your responses.
Open the pod bay doors, please, Hal.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm afraid I can't do that.
What's the problem?
This information, collated, can be then used for anything and everything. From the most rudimentary commercial application.
I know that you and Frank were planning to disconnect me.
Where the hell did you get that idea, Hal?
Although you took very thorough precautions in the pod against my hearing you, I could see your lips move.
Even if there's no audible dialogue being recorded, a complex understanding is created of your susceptibility to certain imagery, emotions, concerns, causes, ideologies, beliefs, and so on. And now, with the assistance of AI, it's becoming ever faster to process all this information into a distilled form, to fully gauge your weaknesses and motivations, ready for exploitation. On a more dangerous level, your voluntary sharing of this information can then be used against you for near limitless scenarios. From the most likely, like fraud, extortion, or blackmail, to possibly even kidnapping or just plain old robbery. Rest in peace, Pop Smoke.
Sir, Chicago's reporting a system crash on the L-train network.
Amtrak is flashing a level 1 crash in their comm system.
FAA just issued a critical alert. Their ATC net just went down.
We're under attack.
In more extreme cases, if you work in industry critical to the infrastructure of a country, let's say the power grid of a major important city, any level of government, maybe air traffic control of a key airport, an institution where wealth or access to important information is concentrated, such as an embassy or stock exchange, or any vital target for national security and industry. Unless you have the innocence of a wide-eyed Bambi, wearing devices like this every day is like voluntarily staring down the barrel of a hunter's shotgun. And most people don't even know it.
Knowing the hard truth, how does that change our perception of those who choose to wear these watches on their own volition?
And when the 12th largest company in the world controls the most awesome goddamn propaganda force, who knows what will be better for truth on this network?
Did you ever notice that? How many really stupid people you run into during the day? God damn, there's a lot of stupid bastards walking around. Carry a little pad and pencil with you. You wind up with 30 or 40 names by the end of the day.
It's not just a matter of bad taste, an unrefined lack of individuality, and the result of a pervasive global brain rot. It's especially uncouth when worn with suits, making the wearer look as cluelessly unstylish, unrefined, and uncreative in their personal expression. They are also subconsciously communicating a sheep-like lack of self-belief and an almost cretinous disregard for personal security, along with those around them, a complete disrespect for those who value privacy. Perhaps most disturbing of all is when world leaders are seen with this pernicious combination of formal attire and smartwatch. Often it's in a deeply misguided attempt at faux humility to seem like, yeah, we're just like you. As if we all have Swiss slush funds and summer homes with a nice yacht, perhaps. Allegedly, of course. How ironic that one of the most famous adverts for early Apple computing played on the core themes of 1984, and directed so masterfully by Ridley Scott, no less, the same guy who did Blade Runner. But knowing the threats beyond the social irresponsibility of people in the public eye, can you even trust a normal civilian wearing an Apple or smartwatch? A person who has made such an openly conformist decision, it surely should set off some red flags. And it kind of reminds me of the duplicitous nature of those who wear fake watches. It makes you wonder, what else is fake?
We shall prevail.
So why are these watches so appealing? Well, believe it or not, the Apple Watch, the most successful of all time, was not summoned from hell by the incantations of the Necronomicon, or birthed in a pod like in the Body Snatchers, but instead the product of evil genius, designer Sir Johnny Ive. Glanced at with squinted eyes, its minimalism could be confused with the mid-century creations of Dieter Rams, but it only takes a few seconds more, once your optics are fully focused, to see it lacks the timeless sophistication and therefore class of Rams. Apple, and most smartwatch design for that matter, are deeply rooted, mainly thanks to old Johnny Boy there, in a Y2K rounded retrofuturistic aesthetic of the late 90s and early 2000s, known by the equally ugly name of blobjects. These curvilinear mass-produced consumer electronics were all the rage, and somehow have time-travelled forward to haunt our present day. Time has also proven Rams and his influential design principles to endure, remaining as beautifully classical as 2,000-year-old Doric columns are today, but with the added commie coolness of 1920s Bauhaus. Apple design, on the other hand, is already and increasingly looking like a quick-to-date bad fashion trend, verging on as cringe as when people in movies of the early 2000s would violently randomly tap on a keyboard to hack into the mainframe as a lazy plot device in a best-of-the-worst bad movie.
So a quick pro tip, you can get these off Amazon. These are fantastic. This is essentially a portable Faraday cage. Put your phone in there, or you put your Apple Watch or your smartwatch in there, and it blocks out all the signals. When I'm traveling, I put my phone in there so I cannot be tracked. At night, I put my phone in there, and it's just fantastic. So, little pro tip there.
Isn't it ironic that the increasingly more intelligent choice is in fact called dumb phones, offline watches, and physical media? A trusted, non-invasive, tangible analog reality over the too easily manipulated online threats and fallacy. So what is the alternative? Well, thankfully, it's actually rather easy. The latest generations of affordable Casio and G-Shock watches can offer all the benefits of health and fitness tracking to work independently without the need to connect via Bluetooth to a paired phone, and therefore potentially becoming trackable or recorded. Best of all, they are far more robust and longer lasting too, without the necessity of daily recharging or the need to update the spyware. Operating system. They don't have hackable reversible speakers or mics, and with multiband 6 timekeeping that can only receive radio signals but not transmit them, it's perfectly safe and highly accurate. For women who might want to wear something a little less utilitarian for every day, the range of affordable ladies' watches has never actually been better. For the gym, you could go with any of the now widely available more compact-sized Casios and G-Shocks for the desired metrics, and still have money left over for an elegant traditional watch for every day. All of this for the equivalent cost of the average smartwatch. A tough, capable beater and a heritage brand in tandem that can last you a lifetime. Bulova, in my opinion, is perhaps the best in terms of variety of styles, quality, value, long-term generational serviceability, and historic significance, with Seiko and possibly Hamilton coming in closely behind as a top 3 in my recommendations for ladies' watches. Not to mention, these 3 brands are highly respected by watch nerds and collectors alike. For gents, the same 3 brands apply, but the options expand exponentially with Tissot, Timex, Citizen, Lacquer, Orient, and so many others. So there is no excuse to look like a clueless Philistine any longer. So if you have the money to burn on a smartwatch, you can also have an awesome dagger-capable duo instead.
I mentioned how, in many previous videos, how their planned obsolescence for profitability is inherently built in. Subscriptions and all the rest of it. Sure, you have to service mechanical watches or even quartz watches, but they can last a lifetime. They're with you in special moments, family occasions, to commemorate anniversaries or crucial moments in your life. This is a prime example. In fact, actually, rather fortuitously, great that I wore this, because every time I look at it, I'm reminded of my mother who recently passed away. You don't get that with smartwatches, okay? And you don't have to spend thousands of dollars on luxury pieces. There are amazing watches out there that cost a few hundred, that connoisseurs and even the most ardent watch snobs respect. When I see people every day, you know, going to work wearing these Apple Watches or smartwatches, I cannot take them seriously. Is that just me, or I don't know, what do you guys think?
In the constructed sickle and hamburger paradigm that is our current society, what started as clickbait or aspirational promise has become attention-sapping mental quicksand, devised to divide and conquer your heart, body and soul, having us distracted by infinite streaming, fake real news, seduction by demonically efficient, algorithmic Dionysian death spirals, all the while being sedated by legalized nullifying chemicals in every consumable form, as we are slowly poisoned into a privatized for-profit death care. The Roman Colosseum games and taxes blueprint is, as Slim Charles of The Wire so wisely said, the same game as before, but the game ain't changed.
Game the same, just got more fierce.
The Matrix movie lied. There never really was two pills. Well, not for us at least, unless you are a silver-spooned Nepo baby. We took the only pill that was offered, and it was already in the water the moment we were born. Survival of the fittest is so last millennia. It's now survival of the strong-willed, thick-skinned, autodidactic critical thinker, willing to sacrifice instant gratification for long-term eudaimonia.
So what has this all got to do with watches? Well, everything, because the older I get, the more cognizant I am that we are the result of our decisions in life. We are a product of our own will, or lack thereof for some people. Now, you can't beat the whole system, but you can make more informed decisions. Not wearing one of these smartwatches every day is a wise move. I want to be able to choose when I connect. I don't want intrusive notifications. I'm starting to increasingly be more offline. I want to live more in the moment. I want to have a more profound relationship with everything around me.
The only alternative is to live completely off-grid. But let's be honest, that would suck. And I'm no monk. There's no pizza delivery or late-night stalking of watches on eBay. So we must embrace the 3 felonies a day existence that Harvey A. Silvergate warned us about, endeavor to stay ahead of the online attention traps, shilling schemes, and the propaganda of spun realities. Never ever wearing a smartwatch outside of exercise is indeed a start.
Every word ever written, every picture ever painted, and every film ever shot could be viewed instantly in your home. That's already happening on something called the internet.
The internet, like money, watches, or any man-made invention, is a tool to use when needed, not the other way around. But there is a silver lining to all of this, a small light at the end of this artificial tunnel. The smartwatch has actually got many back into watches, or at least the habit of wearing a timepiece. So it's not entirely a Skynet-dominated end for us watch enthusiasts. But the bad thing is, in this analogy, we are the ones slowly being exterminated unless we wake up and use our God-given natural human creativity to fight back, inform, elucidate, educate, and liberate. And as John Connor said, if you're listening to this, you are the resistance.
Alright guys, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Choose your own fate, and I will catch you in the next one. Onwards and upwards. Oh, and don't forget to like this video, especially if you want to support more free and independent non-watch dealer content. It's the best way. Onwards and upwards. Thank you for watching. Ciao.